Hello everyone, my name is Fayaz Khan Sahil and today we're gonna learn about human diet. Okay, human need six type of nutrient in their diet. Those are carbohydrate, protein, fats, vitamin, minerals and water, right? So what is a diet, right? The food an animal eat every day is called its diet, right? The food you consume as a human every day is simply diet. Let's look about fibers. Fibers are also be included in the diet, although they are not considered as true nutrients. Why they are not considered as true nutrients? Because suppose this is a fiber, they are not broken down and absorbed by the body itself, right? That is why um, it doesn't consider as a true nutrient, but it play an important role in peristalsis movement. So lack of fiber actually causes constipation. Now let's look at balanced diet. Balanced diet is one that provide all the necessary nutrient in the correct proportion and supply the appropriate amount of energy, right? So a balanced diet is simply a diet that contain all the required nutrient at right amount, right? And supply the body with appropriate energy. Let's look at daily energy requirement from age 1 to 3. As you can see, it is close to 5000 kilojoule. As you can see, as the age number increases, the amount of energy needed also increases. That's why you need a proper balanced diet. Let's look at the energy from food, right? Energy comes from the food you eat daily, right? Eating too much. If you eat too much, you will suffer obesity because this extra energy is stored as fat. Suppose your body need 5 glucose, okay? 5 glucose. But you on the other hand thought you're gonna watch Netflix and just eat, so you consume 8 glucose. It's just an approximate amount, it's just a random amount. Of course the 5 glucose doesn't provide enough energy for doing anything, right? So we have 8 glucose, so you ate 3 glucose actually extra, right? 3 glucose extra. These extra glucose are stored as fat. That's why if you don't eat a proper diet, if you consume more food, you will get obesity. This is a common sense. However, eating too little, not enough energy, feel tired all the time. There are several people you meet, they go through a severe diet and they always feel tired. Your body need a right amount of nutrient for it to function properly, otherwise you always feel tired, dizzy. And all food contains some energy, no matter what it is. Every food contains some amount of energy, because not only carbohydrate provide energy, protein are also broken down to provide energy. Like protein are also broken down in the time of need to provide ATP, and this also include fats. So as you can see, all food actually provide energy, no matter what food it is. 1 gram of fat provided twice the energy of 1 gram of protein. This is very interesting. This is very common in O-level MCQs. So keep it in mind. Energy valued for food can be found online, right? You can always search Google and found the exact amount of energy that particular food actually provide. Let's look at the type of nutrients in details. Carbohydrate are an important source of energy, including starch and sugar. In many countries, people rely on staple food that provide most of their carbohydrate intake. For example, one of the most common staple food is potato, which is a staple food in Ireland, I believe, and also wheat to make bread and pasta. Oh, who doesn't love pasta? And rice, maize, Additionally, carbohydrates are found in sweet food that contains sugar. So the main function of carbohydrates simply is provide a source of energy, right? This include both starch and sugar. You can get carbohydrate from almost all the living plants and animals. Let's look at another nutrient. This nutrient is very important: fats and oil. This is a structure of cell membrane, by the way. This is a structure of cell membrane. Okay, now let's look at what it says. Carbohydrate actually not only provide energy, it also essential for making cell membrane. Like without cell membrane, cell will blast, and also it is needed for cell regulation. Cell will eventually blast if there is more osmosis. Have you seen this particle? Look at this very closely. Two tails, right? This is known as phospholipid. Okay, because it has lipid tail. These are actually the lipid, which is fat. Okay, fats are also stored under this adipose tissue, right? There is adipose tissue which actually insulate your body and reducing heat loss. This stored fat is a form of protective layer around organs like kidney, not only kidney, also stomachs, because for example, the main function of this fat above the organ is basically to provide mechanical protection. And fat is common source of fat including cooking oil, meat, eggs, dairy products, and oily fish. Now let's look at protein. All of us need protein, right? Protein are the building blocks of new cells and supporting growth. They're also used to make important things like hemoglobin, insulin, which is also a protein, and antibodies, right? Without antibodies, you'll die, literally die. Because if your body cannot protect yourself, you will die for like common infection like cold. That's what happened to HIV patient. They die for common infections because body cannot produce antibodies because white blood cells are dead. These proteins are actually made up of amino acids. So these amino acids join together to form actually the protein, right? Protein can be obtained from foods such as meat, fish, eggs, dairy products, peas and beans, nuts and seeds. Now let's look at another nutrient, which is vitamins. The world of vitamins. Vitamins are organic substances needed in a very small concentration or very small amount. If you take extra vitamin, it will cause damage. Okay, so anything extra is not good. Vitamin C, right? One of the most common vitamins. Vitamin C, vitamin D, we hear all the time. Vitamin C is actually found in citrus fruit and raw vegetables. It's essential for making collagen, a protein that help to keep skin and tissue healthy. So, vitamin C is actually essential for making a protein known as collagen, right? Without vitamin C deficiency, you will get wrinkles because we have a lot of collagen in our skin, and it also helps in keeping tissue healthy. What will happen? A deficiency in vitamin C, it will cause us scurvy, which lead to joint pain, muscles pain, bleeding gums, right? So keep taking vitamin C, okay, if you don't want to suffer these diseases, these conditions, right? What about vitamin D? Vitamin D, let me tell you honestly, if you get enough exposure to sunlight, you do not need to consume vitamin D. However, there is a common source of vitamin D, which is of course water, egg yolk. So this is why you can get vitamin D very easily, but it's better to get enough exposure to sunlight so your body can do it. So what is the main need of vitamin D, by the way? Vitamin D is actually needed for calcium ion absorption. calcium ion absorption. Where does calcium found, by the way? You are right, it is actually found in bones. So, lack of calcium ion could cause lack of vitamin D can cause rickets, as it's helping calcium ion absorption, where the bone becomes soft and actually bends. Okay, so get some sunlight, don't play video games all the time. Now let's look at minerals. Minerals, vitamins are organic, but minerals are actually inorganic. Once again, they're also needed in small amount. For example, calcium, you can find it milk, other dairy products, right? They needed for bone, teeth, and for blood clotting. So what will happen? Deficiency of calcium, it will cause us ricket or brittle bones, teeth, and poor blood clotting. If the blood doesn't clot quickly, you will have a lot of blood that is lost. Iron, iron is found in liver, red meat, egg yolk, dark green vegetables. Why they are needed? They're needed for making hemoglobin. Hemoglobin, where does hemoglobin be found? It's present in actually red blood cell, red pigment in blood, which carries actually the oxygen. Okay. Now let's look at deficiency of iron. It will cause anemia, in which there are not enough red blood cell, so the tissue do not get enough oxygen delivery. So if your cell doesn't get enough oxygen delivery, you will feel tired and exhausted. Very simple actions. Okay. Now let's look at fiber, as we have explained it little bit in details, but we'll explain it in more details over here. Fiber play an important role in keeping the alimentary canal working smoothly, right? The alimentary canal is a part of a digestive system through which food passes as it moves from mouth to your anus, right? Food is pushed along this canal by muscle that contract and relax. This whole system is called peristalsis. This muscle contract a trigger when the food is present in the canal. Soft food do not stimulate the muscle much, but harder and less digestive food like fiber can cause the muscle to work more strongly. This increases the muscle activity and help to move food efficiently through digestive system, keeping it alive and healthy. So basically, we need fiber so that the alimentary canal can function properly, right? The alimentary canal, the muscle actually, alimentary canal have muscle that actually contract or relax, right? Contract or relax, right? But harder, late digestible food like fiber causes the muscles to work strongly. So this fiber actually causes these muscles to work more efficiently, right? More strongly. This increases the muscle ability. Our last slide is actually one of the most common nutrient the human need actually is water. Your body is 60 to 70% water, right? Which is essential solvent for many processes inside the cell actually. Suppose this is a cell, this is a nucleus, we have a nucleus, we have a cytoplasm, right? Inside the cytoplasm actually all the chemical reaction actually occurring, they needs a solvent for chemical reaction to occur. This solvent is basically the water. Okay, blood plasma, for example, the liquid part of the blood is mostly water, carried dissolved substance throughout the body. Enzyme also require water, right? They dissolve in the water and the nutrient in the alimentary canal. Additionally, water helps to remove waste product. For example, kidney dissolve urea in water and produce urine. So to remove even the urea, we require water. Most of our water is drinking fluid. Some food like fruit can also provide water. Thank you so much guys for stay here, for watching this video. I will try to make video each and every week. Please stay with me and please do subscribe to my channel. See you next time.